Hi everybody, I want to welcome you to Lead Generation Mastery for Real Estate Agents, brought to you by The Social Savvy Agent and Valkyrie.com. My name is Shauna Zamarripa and I'll be guiding you through this webinar, and I would love to get your feedback on it. So first off, let's talk a little bit about what you're going to learn in the webinar today. So over the next hour, I'm going to talk to you about some really amazing resources that we have used, tested, and are testing to generate a steady stream of leads and income using social media. And that's going to help you because you no longer have to have that worry of the roller coaster income in your business. So the best part is using all of the strategies that I'm going to teach you today. You can actually accomplish all this in just an hour or two per day, maybe less once you get a little proficient with it. So I want you to imagine this for a second. No more cold calling. I mean, come on, everybody hates cold calls. Even the people who are getting the cold calls hate cold calls. So imagine if you didn't have to do a single bit of cold calling ever again, because that's one strategy that I will steer you away from every single day. No more door knocking, like literally, just forget about it. No more trudging around in the heat, the cold, knocking on people's doors, ticking them off, not, having a good response with that. And no more wasting thousands and thousands of dollars on flyers and business cards and resources that, let's face it, in a digital age, just don't work. So who is this training for? The reason that we created this training is specifically for real estate agents who are struggling to find a steady stream of leads in their business, real estate agents that are sick and tired of spending a ton of money on methods that don't work. I mean, my goodness, it seems like everybody always has their hand out when it comes to asking real estate agents for money. So if you agree with that, please type yes in the box next to me. And then people that are looking for solutions that are better than cold calling, better than door knocking, better than all of these old school ways, spending thousands on, mailing, postage stamps, all that jazz, really just utilizing social media to get in front of the right people with the right message at the right time. We made this training for agents who are coachable and trainable. So if you're here and you are just absolutely married to the old school ways, this is probably not the place you need to be, because what you're going to hear in this webinar and in the trainings that we offer will be completely different than cold calling and door knocking. So if that's your go-to and you're completely married to that, you're probably not the coachable, trainable person that this training is created for. But most importantly, we created this training for anybody who wants their time back. Because how much time are you spending using these old school techniques? We want to teach you how to leverage and scale your business so you can actually grow and make the money that you deserve. So 4 amazing things that we are going to talk about today are some little known ways to use social media for lead generation every single day. And it's completely free to do some of the things that we're doing. So, I mean, a lot of you have heard, a bunch of different techniques out there. There's some things in our training that you haven't heard anywhere else. We're also going to talk about ways that you can double your real estate income. Yes, double, and make passive income all at the same time. So, I mean, that's another strategy that we teach around in our group quite a bit, and agents are loving that type of mentality shift. Because even if somebody doesn't turn into your customer, doesn't mean you can't make money off of them visiting your site. And also eliminate some of the busy work that you're doing and get back to doing the business you love. You got into real estate to help people buy and sell real estate. You didn't get into real estate because you wanted to market 24/7. So I want to show you how to scale, how to automate, really just give you 5 simple tools and tricks that you need to have your lead generation literally completely on autopilot. So first, I want to make a promise to you, because I know you've been through a million other webinars just like this one, and I'm telling you right now, this one is not like those other webinars. I'm going to show you some simple, easy to implement, very actionable tactics that you can literally take to the bank. And all of these are designed to help you grow your business and expand your brand. And my promise to you is I'm going to do all this without trying to sell you a single thing. Yes, that's right. There's no crazy mad offer one-time deal with a countdown clock at the end of this webinar, because that's just not how we do business. But if you do stay through the entire webinar, and I hope you do, because there are some things in here that I think you will find very valuable. If you stay through the whole thing, not only am I not going to sell you anything, I have a free gift for you. So I'm going to sweeten the pot a little bit. Now let me ask you something. Does any of these things sound like you? Are you overwhelmed? Are you frustrated by all the tools out there? I mean, my goodness, it seems like there's a brand new tool that's put in front of you every 5 minutes. And it's hard to not get shiny object syndrome, right? Now, do you feel like you can't seem to get ahead because you're always chasing after people? I mean, you're always calling, always door knocking, always texting, always, just chasing after leads like they're the last one on the planet. And if any of these things sound like you, I want you to type yes in the chat box, because, I know that this is some frustration I've heard from real estate agents that we work with all around the country. Now, do you feel like you're leaving money on the table and you're losing out on leads and they're going to, these other guys or these other teams, and that's frustrating? And, does it sound like maybe you can't figure out which piece of the puzzle you're missing to really automate your lead generation efforts? Like, you could do it if you just had the right help or training, but you're not really sure where to go for that because everybody's selling you something, something shiny, something different, something new. And, they're not really focusing on what we focus on, which is trying to provide you the best possible value. And this is something else I hear from a lot of agents I talk to. Do you ever feel like you're working harder when you would much rather be working smarter? I know that feeling. If you're constantly sinking money into what seems like a marketing black hole, you're bombarded with new tricks, tactics, tools. You get so overwhelmed by all of this that you just can't seem to get anything done at all. The more you try, the more frustrated and confused you feel. And that's no fun for anyone. You've tried everything, and, at least it seems like you've tried everything, and you're still scratching your head because nothing really seems to click, right? And I want you to really ask yourself this question. Is what you are currently getting out of your real estate business right now feel like everything that you don't want? Because I know a lot of you feel that way. And if you feel that way, let me know. Give us some reactions in the chat. Don't feel bad though, okay? Because again, I talk to agents all over the country. These are all symptoms of a much larger problem. And, I'm going to kind of diagnose that problem for you, because what you believe your problem is actually not what your problem is. It's kind of mind-blowing, right? So really, here's what you need. All you need are the right strategies and systems that you can put in place in your business every single day. No more tools that's only going to serve to overwhelm you. No more flash-in-the-pan programs that only serve to help you sink more money into them. No more get-rich-quick schemes. No more false promises about leads that do not convert. Once you implement the systems that we use, there's a few things that you're going to be able to do. You're going to exponentially be able to grow your real estate business literally on autopilot. So you don't have to spend all this time marketing and chasing after people and feeling frustrated. Our systems help you get traffic to your website, to your offer, to your social media pages with ease, and they help you get more qualified buyer and seller leads on a regular basis, which is ultimately going to help you close more business. We have an entire suite of automated tools that is simple to use and even easier to manage. Honestly, we want to help you get your time back while you're making more money. I don't think anybody can argue with that, right? And we want you to do all of this without feeling stressed out, without feeling overwhelmed, and without feeling worried about where your next lead is coming from, because you're going to live in a world of complete and total abundance. By the time we're finished, you will have an easy to use, easy to follow system that will help you do the work you hate doing, because I know I was an agent, prospecting. Everybody hates prospecting. So our systems, let's talk about this. And this is what gets me really excited and fired up. I want to talk to you about 5 elements that you need to automate your real estate business. So the secret, let me tell you a secret. There really isn't a secret. I know everybody's out there just clamoring for that secret sauce. There's a little bit of technique involved in this stuff, but there really isn't a secret to it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who we are. I'm Shauna Zamarripa, as I had said earlier before. Got into real estate in 2007. I sold millions of dollars in months, and I never knocked a single door that I didn't already have an appointment with. And I never made a single cold call because I realized that there was a better way to do my prospecting and my lead generation. Using blogging, I've been recognized by Yahoo, MSN, CNN, and eHow as a personal finance and real estate expert. And I've often found my way onto the front page of different publications, Yahoo several times, and even Realtor.com. You would be amazed at how much insane amounts of traffic and leads that drove to me while I was making passive income doing it. So it really can be done, guys. If I can do it, I'm nobody special, and you can do it too. I've been a renowned social media and blogging trainer for RE/MAX International on social media and digital marketing. I have several boot camps that are available on YouTube where I go into a lot of these different strategies very in depth. Be happy to share those with you guys if you're interested. Just get with me after the webinar. I've also been recognized by Hearst as a local expert, and I've been featured in numerous online publications and on podcasts. So how I discovered the system that I used. I got into real estate back when the market tanked in 2007 because I figured if everybody's going to get out, it's the best time for me to get in. Initially, I spent most of my money getting into real estate and asking my broker, hey, how do you get leads? I was inundated with these old school marketing techniques, cold calling, door knocking, sending out mailers, blah, 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 all this busy work that I didn't want to do. I tried it for a little bit and I realized really quickly that it just didn't work. It was going to make me go broke, and I knew that there had to be a better way. So I found 5 simple steps that you can use to really get the right leads coming to you instead of you having to chase after your leads. So first, you have to target the right audience because a lot of this is about audience building, especially when it comes to social media. Marketing is simple. You have to get your message in front of the right audience at the right time. The key word there is the right audience. And a lot of agents have the wrong one. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about finding the right leads by eliminating the wrong ones. So who are the wrong ones, right? They're people, especially for buyers, people who have credit scores below 620. You know that's going to be a hassle. You know that's going to be a lengthy commitment. The wrong ones are people who've just moved. I mean, for goodness sake, they've just moved. They're not likely to move again. People have a lot of debt. I mean, as most of you know, debt to income ratio can be a deal killer many, many times. People who simply don't want to buy or sell a house, people who are just perfectly content where they're at. Maybe they have found their forever home. They're not undergoing any major life changes. They're just comfortable. That's not your audience. Obviously, these guys are not going to be your market because they can't or don't want to do business with you. But yet, these are the folks that you're spending all this time cold calling, door knocking, and spending money on with mailers because you're not using targeted, automated systems. So here's the thing. All these people that you're cold calling, spending thousands of dollars of mail outs and door knocking, you're wasting hard-earned marketing dollars on a prayer. A prayer isn't a strategy. A strategy is a strategy. One of my favorite sayings is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you got to plan. So how much more could you do with your time if you were able to literally eliminate that waste from your Rolodex? Because, everybody talks sphere of influence, blah, 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 blah. It gets old, it gets tired, and you don't want to pitch your friends and family 99% of the time. So let's talk about what you're going to need in order to fulfill the systems that I talk about. First off, you have to find the right market. Those are the people that are interested in buying and selling a home. People who also, by the way, match your unique personality because like attracts like. And people do business with people they know and they like. So it's very important for you to be able to transition you, who you are, what you're passionate about from your one-on-one conversations to social media conversations. You also need a highly targeted niche market that you can use and leverage to grow your business to new levels. So maybe, for example, your niche is you work really well with first-time home buyers. Maybe you work exceptionally well with veterans because you've been a service member yourself. Perhaps you are really a huge dog lover. Well, there's a lot of people who struggle with finding places to live based on homeowners associations and even homeowners insurances who have dangerous breeds. People like me, I have German Shepherds. That can be a hassle when somebody's moving. So, it's finding your niche is always so important. So you've got to think about what are you passionate about and how are you going to craft a message to people who are like you, who are passionate about those same things. Because remember, like I said, people do business with people they know and people they like. So if you share your passion and what you're passionate about with other people, that translates beautifully into business and to having people come to you as leads. Because you're not that average realtor who's only talking about real estate all the time. There's literally hundreds of thousands of millions of people in your local market. Now, it's impossible to target them all. It really is. And frankly, you might even not want to do business with all of them. I mean, I know I've had some nightmare clients. You probably have too. But it's possible to target a very specific niche based on some specific criteria. So here's how we do it. First off, we look at statistics because you got to know your statistics and your analytics. Otherwise, you're flying blind on social media. The good news is, even though it might be a pain to learn this stuff initially, the good news is it's so measurable once you get there that you can actually begin seeing what's working and what's really resonating with your audience versus just putting a post out there and praying somebody contacts you. So 74% of clients will give you a referral if you stay in touch with them. So top of mind, right? The most powerful way to remain and stay top of mind today, social media. 70% of buyers and 75% of sellers found their real estate agent on the internet, specifically, by the way, using social media to do it. So, I mean, that's a pretty huge number right there. The good old boy network is slowly dying out. Social media is definitely taking over. Here's something else that I really want you to consider. 60% of buyers, and actually a little bit higher percentage of sellers, Googled their future agent. What does Google say about you? When was the last time you Googled yourself? I would highly recommend after this webinar, one of the first action items that you do is you take some time to go in there and Google yourself. Heck, you can even Google me because what you'll see when you do is my social media profiles, a lot of the blogs that I've written, things like that. They want to know that they can trust you because you have a solid presence online. So it's very worth it to invest some time and money into maintaining and getting a solid presence online if you don't have one. Now, here's a statistic that'll really blow your mind, especially if you want listings. 74% of sellers used social media to find their agent. 74%. They weren't using Zillow. They weren't using Trulia. They weren't using Realtor.com. They were using social media because they want to know that you actually know what they're doing. Because, they're dealing with a lot of agents, and a lot of agents are selling them a false bill of goods. So you're using social media as leverage to build trust, expertise, and authority. 90% of buyers, we all kind of know this, look for a new house online. So, that's another staggering statistic. If you can put the right message, the right house in front of the right people, my goodness, what would that do for your business? And of course, photos are important, but good photos. That I'm sure y'all have seen some pretty bad ones out there. I know I have. 84% of buyers are looking for photos. So, photos should be a good portion of your concentration. 100% of buyers said their agent's response time was important. Well, guess what? There's ways I can teach you how to automate that response time on social media so that you are not working 24/7. 93% of social media traffic comes from Facebook. Facebook is a big mamma jamma. They've got 1.7 billion users per day. That's a lot of people logging into social media, especially on Facebook. So you really have to invest some time to learning it and really becoming proficient with it. And the other thing that's pretty important is your website, your landing pages, your funnels. Mobile traffic actually accounts for 30% of the total traffic to real estate sites. So if your site does not load lightning fast, if your site doesn't look good on every single smartphone, and I would suggest you take a look at that too, you probably want to get started there because, social media, you're wanting to drive traffic to your website, to your offers, to things like that. So it's important that it be mobile friendly. Google is also pushing sites down to the bottom of the search pile, even with people who paid for SEO, if their sites aren't mobile friendly. So it's very, very worth it to invest in some mobile friendly sites. So now let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Let's talk about using social media to literally generate leads every single day. So the first thing you want to do is build an audience. And the way you build the right audience is you start thinking about your niche and what is interesting to them. And then I'm going to teach you how to use Facebook and Twitter literally as a search engine. The next thing you need to think about is getting in the right online groups. Consider joining certain neighborhood groups. Consider getting on Nextdoor. Different listservs. Consider, local buy and sell groups where you can have different conversations with people. Organic is a challenging method to generate leads on social media right now. So one of the things that I always recommend is in groups, people are more likely to see what you're posting and or commenting on. So your goal here is to provide value, not to continuously sell. The other thing that a lot of agents don't do enough of is engage. When I say engage, not just on your posts, not just on what you're putting out there, it's important that you engage between 20 and 30 different people every single day on social media. That means liking what they have to say, commenting, adding value to different questions and answers. And the way you're going to do this is really using groups and also using Facebook and Twitter as a search engine, because that's going to help you find the most relevant conversations that will actually help you build your business. I mean, literally, I've been on Threads and I have dropped one single comment and gotten 10 leads completely for free that are good leads, just giving some value on somebody else's thread. And a lot of that comes from groups as well. The next thing you need to have is an automated lead generating system. So let's talk about all this. Facebook Audience Insights. First off, if you don't have a business Facebook account, you need to go to business.facebook.com and connect your information in there. What this is going to do is tell you what your demographic, your niche demographic is looking at. What products and services do they like? What organizations? What, companies are they following? What, software are they interested in? Not just real estate, but what else are they doing? And by you doing this is going to really help you begin to build the right avatar for your audience. And it's something we do for every single one of our clients, because we really want you to niche down and find your ideal client, somebody you enjoy working with and somebody who enjoys working with you. It makes the entire process easier. It makes your job easier, but it all starts with Audience Insights. Now, if you don't know how to use Audience Insights, that's a separate training that we offer. But it is something I would suggest you get around and click around and play in. But to do that, you have to have a business Facebook account. So again, that's business.facebook.com. And I want you to go in and set that up. Then in the search bar at the top of Facebook, if you type in Audience Insights, it will take you to a screen that looks a lot like this. And I would suggest you get in there and click around and figure out what your ideal client is looking at and looking for, because that's going to help you really craft a content strategy that's relevant to your audience. So this is where we get a little like Field of Dreams, because if you build it right, they will come. But you also need to know what's important to them, not just real estate stuff, but what else is important to them. So let's talk about using social media as a search engine. And I think Twitter is actually pretty rock star for this, actually, and it works like a charm. And there's several different search phrases you can use. So the one that I cited here was just moving to New Orleans, right? When you type that in and you hit search, it's going to give you every single update that has been posted. The great thing about this is once you have all of these pulled up, all you have to do is send a direct message to each one of these users. Something short and simple. Hey, saw your post, noticed you were moving. Here's, an article that I wrote about things to know when you're moving to San Antonio. And if you need help looking for a place to live, please contact me. Keep it very short, sweet, simple, to the point, but also direct. You are going to be asking for their business. The goal here is to start a volley of conversation with these folks. Statistically, it's going to take 3 to 4 different replies from them before they're going to be comfortable enough to give you a phone number or additional contact information. And that's okay. The trick with this is you want to make sure you track it. So when you are contacting these folks, use a spreadsheet or your CRM and say, I contacted Natasha on, July 25th. She said she was moving to New Orleans. This is what I sent her. And then schedule a follow-up. If they don't get back to you, follow up with them again. Ask how their plans for moving are coming and things like that. The beautiful thing about using social media as a search engine is the fact that you can put in all kinds of different life events that are actually tied to the reasons people move. Having a baby, getting married, got engaged, kids moving out of the house. You can search these different terms and have all of these things pulled up on social media so that you can actually have a steady stream of people you can contact that are either relocating to the area, or if you want to get super creative and get listings, saying moving out of your city. So in this case, you'd say moving out of New Orleans or moving from New Orleans, anything like that. Try a few different search terms based on what you think your demographic is going to type into social media as a status update. And then all you have to do is direct message and contact each and every one of these folks, keep a record of it, and then make sure you do some follow-up. This is really going to help you see a turn in your social media ROI. It's something a lot of people neglect to teach. Social media is more than just going through your newsfeed and looking at updates from friends and family. While that's wonderful, and while that is a way to do business, it's not the only way. And this is a really, really clever way that we use to actually reverse engineer what people are looking at and looking for in order to be able to get the right message in front of the right people at the right time. So start thinking of social media instead of just as a place to go and post and comment, but also as a search tool. It's a fantastic way to generate leads every single cotton picking day, and it doesn't take a heck of a lot of time or effort. If you have questions on this, please feel free, get with me after the webinar. I'm more than happy to go into more detail on this. We also have some detailed trainings on this as well. So here's why most agents struggle with social media and why they get it wrong. They use the post and pray method. Now, if this is you, give me a hands up. Post and pray is you're going to just schedule a post or post a picture of a house or post a picture of your business card and say, call me, and then pray somebody responds to it. That isn't a social media strategy. And this is unfortunately where a lot of folks go wrong on social media. They're just posting all of this promotional content as opposed to posting valuable content that your consumers want, that your consumers are looking for on a daily basis. So you have to really kind of dissect, reverse engineer who your customer is and what's important to them, and then write content around that. Not just promotional, here's a listing, here's me closing a sale, call me if you know somebody who wants to buy or sell. Don't keep it promotional. The actual correct ratio is 1 promotional post to 5 educational or entertaining posts. So just bear that in mind as you're crafting your posting strategy. By the way, in our group, which is a closed exclusive group, happy to give you access to that as well. I have several different items where you can follow along daily on social media checklists, exactly what you need to be doing, as well as the content posting calendar. Kind of takes the mystery out of what to post. The second thing a lot of agents do wrong is they don't engage with other people on their posts. The bottom line is people don't care what you know or how good you are at your job until they know that you care about them. So it's important when somebody has a life event or posts a picture that you like or anything like that that's on your friends list, engage with that post. Let them know that. It's very, very, very important. Science has told us that every time somebody likes or comments on a post on social media, it actually gives somebody a shot of dopamine, which is the thing in your brain that makes you happy. So when you're trying to make somebody feel good, it's important to engage with what they're saying on social media. A lot of people don't do this enough, and really the algorithm is going to punish you if you don't. Your stuff is going to get in front of fewer people if you're not engaging with other people's posts. So again, 20 to 30 different types of engagement a day is what I recommend in order for you to get better results. The other way a lot of agents go wrong is not having their sites optimized for lead capture. If you don't have things that are available to your consumer base on your site, like how to sell your home for the highest amount possible that the market will allow. There's tons of free ebooks and things like that you can put on your website that people will want to download. And it's also something you can promote on social media. The whole premise is to try to get a consumer to either direct message you on social media or give you an email address. So keep that in mind. That's something that really needs to be integrated into your site. The other problem is agents aren't approaching social media with a strategy. It's kind of like what I was saying before with the post and pray method. You have to be very methodical in mapping out a strategy. And yes, this takes some time on the front end, but once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quickly. Another big mistake that agents are making is they're not taking out ads. Facebook is fantastic for real estate ads. And we have seen this over and over and over again for ads we post for real estate agents. They're getting good leads. They're getting more engagement. They're getting more likes to their page. They're automatically attracting the right audience without a heck of a lot of work. So it's systemized, it's automated, and it's intentional. Last but not least, most agents don't have a system. They just kind of let the day run them. And I always say, never let your day run you. You've got to run your day. Put systems in place on your calendar where you're scheduling time for your social media just as you would an appointment with the buyer or seller, because it is that important. The more you keep your pipeline full with systems, the less you're going to feel stressed and overwhelmed. So let's talk about the cost of getting it wrong, okay? And this is really where I talk dollars and cents. If your average closing is $5,000 in commission, you're actually losing about 2 clients a week by not using social media correctly. That's $10,000 a week or $520,000 a year. Now, once you sit back and think about what those numbers would actually do for your business, I bet you that would pay for a lot of the vacations, cars, things that you're craving, help you build a team, help you scale, help you have more marketing dollars, right? So the cost of doing it wrong, the cost of not approaching it with an intentional, systemized process is actually pretty gosh darn expensive. Let's talk about the cost of cold calling, because time is money, right? Let's say you do cold calling for 2 to 3 hours a day for 6 days a week, and that nets you 3 new clients a month. Like we talked about before, let's say your average commission is $5,000. Now, if you get 3 new clients a month at $5,000, that's $15,000. It's a respectable amount of money. But let's talk about versus social media. If you spend 6 hours a month on social media, that will net you 4 new closings, and each closing is $5,000 a month. You're spending less time and ultimately less money than you are cold calling, and you're making $20,000 versus maybe $15,000, and a lot of stress, headache, and rejection as well. So it's just a way of working a lot smarter. So let's talk about another few things that I've noticed as I go in and I audit agents' pages. A lot of agents only have other realtors as friends on their social media. Okay, well, if you're coming to me and you're saying, Shauna, my social media isn't working, and I go in and I'm looking and I see your marketing saying, call me if you want to buy or sell a house, and you have 400 friends and 398 of those friends are other real estate agents, of course your social media isn't going to work. And most of the time you're going to invite friends to like your page. So if your audience on your page is also other realtors on your business page, again, the marketing efforts you're putting in are falling on deaf ears. So that's an important note for me to make. Audience building is so crucial. And I do several different trainings on how to build your audience correctly based on your niche. The next thing is not posting enough. A lot of agents just kind of have tumbleweeds going across their pages. They're not posting enough. Generally speaking, you want to post at least once a day. 1 to 3 times a day is optimal. The next thing is driving traffic to a website versus a sales funnel. Websites are great and they're definitely a necessity for every business. The problem is, with most real estate websites, there's too much information on the homepage. So just driving traffic to your homepage is not going to do it. So you really want to drive traffic to a sales funnel, a very specific offer that you have as an agent. So for example, if you're driving traffic to something that says, hey, I have an exclusive move-up program. I'll sell your house for 1% on my commission, 4% total, if you agree that you're going to use me as your agent to buy your new house. Caveat, of course, being it's got to be a bigger, more expensive house for it to be worth your while. Or if you say, hey, contact me and I will give you, a free moving certificate once we find your dream home for your movers. Or saying that, you'll pay for an appraisal. Something that is going to save your customer the same thing that you want. They want to save time and money. So come up with an offer that you can put people into a funnel so that you're able to capture their information, do some follow-ups, but you're also attracting people who are in the market to move now. So, just saying, hey, go check your home value, that's not always going to bring you the most stellar traffic. Sometimes it's just going to bring you a bunch of people who are looky-loos. The next thing is not engaging in the right places. So you got to engage in groups. You got to engage on your page. You got to engage on other people's pages. You need to be in different LinkedIn groups, different Facebook groups. Really, drill down and dig down on Twitter. Get on Pinterest. Get on group boards. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And then not engaging at all, say for their own posts. And I see this one a lot. Like the agents will reply to people who are commenting on their posts, but they won't ever comment on anybody else's posts. That is just not smart. Think of social media like a big room full of opportunities for you to network with people. If you go in that room and only wait for somebody to talk to you and you don't proactively go talk to somebody else or be complimentary or be engaging, they're not going to want to do business with you. The last thing is not doing video enough or right. So video is king on social media right now. Everybody's wanting videos. Everybody needs to do videos, but not just any type of video where you're promoting yourself. Tell stories. Talk about how you helped your last customers buy and sell a home. Get consumer testimonials. Educate people on different programs that you have in your city. Maybe you have some down payment assistance programs or a Hometown Heroes program for first responders and police officers. Maybe you have different options for military buyers in your area. Get on camera and start talking about those. Start educating people about what's available to them. And then at the end of that video, ask them to share it with somebody, thanking, for example, military service for their service, police officers for their service, anything like that is going to be good, engaging, solid content that people will respond to because why? It's relevant to them. So let's recap just a second and let's talk about what social media is. You got to engage with other local businesses as your Facebook page. I'm talking restaurants, movie theaters, entertainment venues, local bands, pet shelters, pet events, anything that is going to be relevant to your niche demographic. Then start promoting your favorite local businesses on social media by tagging them in your posts or asking them if you can do some co-promotions together. You can even do co-promotions with your favorite loan officer, your favorite title company, your favorite moving company. Heck, the sky is the limit when it comes to who you want to co-promote on your page and who you can share posts with on theirs. Because frankly, it helps you both reach a larger audience, which is a fantastic way to grow your brand awareness. Another idea that you could use is ask a local business to sponsor a sweepstakes for your page. For example, sponsor some type of closing gift promotion. That way you know you're driving people who are in the market to buy a home. So, as your closing gift, get this incredible new free vacuum cleaner or 3 months, worth of meals from this subscription box service or 2 free dinners at insert local restaurant here. really the sky's the limit on this too. And the only limit is your creativity. And let's be real here. Social media engagement is the new let's get a cup of coffee. You don't have to be across the table from somebody to build long-lasting, fantastic relationships. Heck, we have fantastic relationships with people all over the world that we've never met in person. Many of our agents do. And it's something that we really train to and speak to. So, you don't necessarily have to meet face to face. It's not a belly to belly business that much anymore. There's ways to connect with people, get referrals from them. Business owners are always fantastic because you know what? They buy and sell homes too. They have friends who buy and sell homes. So it's a smart move to really target people who are part of your community as a local business. So, it's just a really, really smart way for you to use social media in different ways than what you might be already. So let's talk about your lead generating sales funnel. What is a sales funnel, Shauna? A sales funnel is kind of a mini website, and I talked about this earlier. But it needs to be built and done based on the audience insights, the ones that we did way back a few slides ago, that you've obtained so that it is interesting to the user. So you really, again, have to create and craft content and a sales funnel that is geared to really fulfill the wants, needs, and desires of the user. Here's some ideas that you can use for a sales funnel, or what we call in the business a lead magnet. List of homes, tips on selling fast for top dollar. There's tons of ebooks out there on this. And if you guys get stuck, let me know. I give a ton of advice away in our groups on stuff like this. So I'm happy to, work with you on this and coach you a little bit. Give out a list of the best agents in the area. Obviously, you want to be on that list. A list of what not to look for in a real estate agent. A list of questions to ask an agent before you hire them. A list of what to look for in a good real estate agent. A list of tips to improve curb appeal, a list of tips to attract more buyers to a house. There's a million different ideas that you can utilize that you are driving traffic, again, to a very specific offer, not just a website that has way too much information on it that people are just going to click off in a few seconds. That's part of the business automation systems that we really do coach around. So the goal's simple, right? You want to create a sales funnel that is so attractive and so profitable that you can literally afford to buy all the traffic you want, because buying traffic you have to advertise. But you can afford it because you know that offer converts. And there's a lot of elements to this, but this is ultimately the goal. So you want to have the right traffic systems, because without traffic, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to create an offer, drive traffic to it. It's an easy thing to get if you're creating an irresistible offer. Sometimes what happens is we'll create a sales funnel or a ad, and the ad converts really well. It's getting clicks through to the funnel, but sometimes the funnel's not converting. Sometimes we have to make adjustments to the funnel itself. Other times we have to go back to the agent and say, okay, we need a new offer. This offer isn't working, so we need to pivot and try something else. The irresistible offer that you create is really going to be exclusive and very, very targeted to your niche audience. So, sometimes you have to go back and tweak it. Sometimes you have to offer a little more. Sometimes you can get away with a little less. It just depends. No two sales funnels work exactly the same way in every single area. But here's the thing, traffic is actually the easiest thing to get when you have an irresistible offer. It doesn't matter how bad your funnel looks. It doesn't matter, if your ad copy is a little off. If your offer is fantastic, it's still going to convert. But if your funnel's broken, okay, if it's not converting, like I was talking about, driving more traffic to it or pumping more money into an ad is not going to work. You're sinking down a black hole. And I always like to be super honest with people about that because I see it happen way too often. And if you have a system and a funnel that works, more traffic isn't only a problem, it's a blessing, because guess what it does? It draws the right people to you at the right time, and it keeps that pipeline of yours full, which is important. So where does traffic come from? Well, you have organic traffic, which is unpaid. And that's posting your funnel on social media and making your content strategy. Then you have paid traffic. That's like taking out a Facebook ad or a Google ad or a Bing ad, okay? You can hire a professional to do SEO for your website. But in a lot of really high traffic areas, I will say this, people are spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to rank on that first page of Google. So if that isn't within your budget, SEO might be something you need to put on the back burner. And we're talking literally about $5,000 or $6,000 a month minimum for SEO to get you higher ranked quickly. You also can list your businesses in all local business venues and arenas, Houzz, Nextdoor, Yelp, Thumbtack. There's a lot of different directories that you can put your business, your service, your beautiful face. All those things are actually going to help you with Google rankings as well. And these are all things that we can help you with if you get stuck. Now, this is where I really have to give some folks a reality check, because I think a lot of people have this expectation that if they put up a funnel or site, it's automatically going to draw traffic to it. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You actually have to work to get traffic to it. Now, organic traffic, that unpaid traffic, that's generally going to take 6 to 9 months to become a viable traffic source for just about anybody. It's not overnight and it's not instant. Paid traffic typically shows results in 60 to 90 days. Again, still not instant. And there are cases, but they're very rare where it is instant. But let's talk about leverage. Leverage is important because it's what's going to allow you to scale, improve, and grow your business. You want to dedicate about 5 to 10 hours a week to these systems. You really can't create more time in your day. Boy, I wish I could. But you also can't keep putting hours into your business only to get results that don't work or not get the sales that you want. And experience, well, I can say this, experience is a very expensive teacher. I know it's been expensive for me. I know it's been expensive for a lot of agents that we work with too. So one of the things that I do, and one of the things that I train agents to do that work with us, is hire outsourcing and professionals to get the best results rather than waste time and money making the same mistakes. Now, if you're a pretty tech savvy agent, there's definitely some areas that you can tweak and learn and, probably do a lot of the work yourself, but do you want to? Is it the highest and best use of your time? So, for example, in things that are not the highest, best use of my time, things that, don't make me money, like having to respond to a whole bunch of emails or, just having to get on the phone, things that are not making me money, that are not scalable for me, I outsource. And that's one of the things that I recommend to agents as well. Things that they don't want to do or can't do, definitely consider outsourcing that. I have a ton of resources on that too, and I'm happy to give that to you guys. Trust me, there's a lot more you'll get just from this webinar, but also afterwards if you choose to connect with us. So that's all the bad news, right? Let's talk about the good news. Your market is evergreen. Your sales funnel, your autoresponder, when you have these systems implemented, are 100% automated, which takes, the front end work out of what you're having to do on the phone all the time or via text or whatever. It's going to pre-qualify your leads for you. And that allows you to cherry pick the very best ones and then put the other ones either out as a referral or on a drip campaign, whatever you choose to do. But this is a system that, all these things that I've talked to you about, it's easy to scale, it's easy to add a budget, and it's easy to do while you're getting more and more qualified prospects as you invest in it. Because more leads is not always the answer if they're bad leads. The entire idea is to pre-qualify those leads to make sure that they're good ones. So let's look at a case study. Here's how one guy, and we've done the same thing, you can turn $441 into $900,000 in real estate sales. But you got to know how to advertise correctly. You got to know how to target correctly. And that's where we come in, because it takes a lot of testing. And there's about 16 different tips I can give you on ads. It's a PDF that I have, and it's extensive. It's not just as simple as pointing, clicking, and saying, hey, universe, here's my ad. It's a very, very, very tedious process. But it does work. And it's proven to work over and over and over again. I mean, if you put in $441 to get $900,000 out, that's a pretty good return on investment. So let's look at what people have to say about ours. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this. You can definitely feel free to check this out on our Facebook page, because all these reviews are left by our users, our customers. and have been left over time, and we get more and more all the time. And we're very, very grateful for that. We have a very, very high star rating because what we do is just a little bit different than everybody else, because we want to give you value. We want to give you things that are relevant to you. So, if you want to check these out, please feel free to visit us online and do so. So we're getting to the hour mark, and I want to recap really quick. The 5 things that you need in order to be successful. Well, first off, you need the right market. The next thing, you need the right offer and the right funnel. The next thing you need is automated systems with work done on the front end. And there's a lot of different systems that we recommend that we use, that we can implement for you, that we can point you to, for just about every price point, and they work beautifully with just about any budget. The next thing you need is the right traffic strategies. And, for a lot of you, that's going to be paid traffic. Buying Facebook ads, using Google AdWords. All of these things kind of work together as part of the marketing puzzle. Last thing you need, leverage. Leverage in all the right places. So it's important to put this work in on the front end so that you can get some leverage of your own. So how can we help you? Well, I promised you that I wasn't going to sell you anything, and I'm not. I am going to give you a gift, and as a thank you for attending this webinar. I've actually set aside some time to speak with you personally if you're interested, so we can talk about implementing these systems in your business. And I will do this completely free, and it just is a thank you for showing up today, for paying attention and staying until the end. It's $1,000 value. My consulting fees are not cheap. Something I don't generally do either, that much, work or auditing for free. So this is something that is exclusive to you guys who are attending this webinar, just as a thank you. But before we get into that, and before we talk about possibly scheduling a call, I need to tell you who my calls are right for and who they're not. My time is incredibly valuable to me. I know yours is too. So my calls are right for people who are committed. I mean committed to building and growing their real estate business. Not somebody who does this as a hobby. That's probably not a good fit. My calls are right for people who are willing to invest in real sources of traffic. And really, in layman's terms, that means people who are willing to spend money on getting ads and getting ads done correctly, because I know that that works. And my calls are right for people that are serious about doing all of this the right way. Coachable, trainable, people who aren't afraid to try some new things. Social media is constantly changing, and we have to change to adapt to that. And then also, my calls are right for people who are able to invest in their business and in themselves, meaning that they need to invest probably around $1,000 and be prepared to do that before we get on a scheduled call. And I'm talking, $1,000, and I'm talking ad spend, I'm talking, a bunch of different things. So if you don't have these systems in place, that's pretty much the baseline of what you're looking at. That's who my calls are right for, and I hope that my calls are right for you. If they're not right for you right now, we can talk about that later. But if we do work together, if you're working with my team, if you're working with me, you will get the same options that we've given to hundreds of other clients that have led to success. You will have a system that is designed to start getting you high quality traffic and leads in literally 5 to 10 hours per week of effort from you. And I'm talking a customized system that is totally exclusive to you based on your niche, what we talk about, how we're coaching around that. And I do expect you to get tangible results quickly. So it's pretty simple. If you are interested in scheduling a call with me, if you're the type of person who's right for these calls, all you have to do to book your free session is click on this link right here and do it, as quickly as you can. My spaces fill up very, very quickly. We only really do take about 5 new clients a month because we want to do our best work for them. We don't just take everybody, and the reason we don't, because, like these big shops or whatever, the reason that we don't is we do have a team to facilitate and support it, but we've learned that over the years, in the first 30 days in that onboarding phase with the client, that's when a lot of our work needs to get done, and a lot of our expectations and the client's expectations need to be set correctly. So we want to make sure that we can set aside enough time to do that appropriately. So I hope that you guys have found this really helpful. If you did, please share it with somebody that you think can benefit. I have a lot of really good information in our Facebook group as well, the Social Savvy Agent 2.0. And I just want to thank you again for attending this webinar. And I hope that my calls are right for you. I hope that we can talk about what you need, what's going to help grow your business, and that we can go from there. But again, thank you very much for attending. This is Shauna with Valkyrie and the Social Savvy Agent. That's pretty much a wrap.